Joining us, the UMass Minutemen, an at-large bid out of the Hockey East Conference, ranked number 2 in the nation in the latest USCHO poll, number 1 seed in this region. Joining us today, head coach Greg Carville, voted Hockey East Coach of the Year. Joining him are his captains, an assistant captain, sophomore defenseman Mario Ferraro, another assistant captain, the Hockey East Player of the Year, and a top 10 Hobey Baker finalist, sophomore defenseman Cale McCarr, and a junior forward and team captain Nico Hildenbrand. We will start with a statement from the head coach, followed by questions for just the players, and then coach's questions will be at the end. Coach?
It's great to be here. First time for our program in, I think, 12 years. This team has been consistently very good all year long. A little stumble last weekend, and hopefully it serves as a learning lesson for us. We're excited to be here, excited to see what we can do at this stage, and continue our season.
Thanks, Coach. We'll start with questions for the players.
Hi, Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. For any of you guys, just what's been the source of your success on the power play this year with the fabulous 28.7%?
I think it's just being able to read everybody really well. We work on it so much in practice every day, and knowing where guys are going to be at specific times, and those specific systems are what have helped us throughout this year.
Next question, right here.
Josh Hall for Stelly Hampshire. For any of you guys, the fact that you guys might not have as much NCAA tournament experience, but obviously Carv's coached in 2 Stanley Cup Finals, Ben's played, Ben coached in the NCAA tournament, D-Mike's played in the NCAA tournament. Does that experience you feel like kind of translate over to you guys a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, since the beginning of the season, obviously it all starts with our coaching staff giving us that confidence, and Coach Carvey and the rest of the coaching staff would always emphasize that this is a special group and we can do special things. And obviously last weekend wasn't the result that we wanted, but that's something that we learned from. We've turned the page because we got a huge opportunity ahead of us here, and we know that we got a lot of talent, and we proved it all year long. And it's just about going out there and competing, and it's about the way we play. That's what we've been focusing on the past couple months now. It's not so much about the X's and O's. We got to go out there and compete, and the harder team wins the game. So that's our focus moving forward, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow, and hopefully good things happen.
Nico, in a game on a smaller ice sheet like this, how important is the forecheck and kind of getting your physicality into this type of game?
Absolutely, I think it's extremely important. That's something that we've been harping on all week, and it's simplifying our game. It's getting pucks north. It's just advancing zones, and that's really been important for us. Last week and even leading into this week, and that's it's definitely something that we focused on for sure.
Any remaining questions for the players?
Alex Hall, New Hampshire Union Leader. Just guys, what does it mean to you guys to be part of, getting the program back here and being part of this season with the team?
First word that comes to mind for me is humble. We're extremely humbled to be able to do that for the program. It's an exciting time for us, an exciting time for everyone involved. It's not just the guys in that locker room, it's everyone involved in the program that gets the opportunity to be back here. And, we're super excited about it, and we're going to have fun here. But at the end of the day, it's a business trip, and we know that.
How much did you guys learn from the experience last week of traveling to Boston, going through all the banquets and all kind of the distractions off the ice? How much do you feel like you guys learned from that you can kind of take into the frenzy of this week?
Yeah, I think last week was a big lesson for us. It was something that we weren't used to coming in, but obviously now we've been prepared all week to kind of count out all the distractions. Come into this weekend, just focus on what we got to do. We came here to play hockey. Obviously, all the stuff going around is something that can distract you and get you a little bit overexcited. But our goal is to come out of here with 2 wins. It starts tomorrow night, first 5 minutes, and that's what we're focused on. That's what we focused on today in practice. We thought we had good energy, and we're going to carry it into tomorrow. So as much as the stuff around the rink and all that is exciting, that's not where our mind's at. We want to be successful here this weekend, and that's what we're focused on.
Any other questions for the players? All right, you guys are all set. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Nico. Mario.
Thanks.
Am I done?
We'll now open it up Questions for Coach Carville? She's coming.
Coach Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Just talk about Cale's role on the power play and, how he stirs the drink a little bit.
I think he'd be the first to say that we got 5 pretty good players on that power play. Jake Pritchard's been a big addition to it too. I think all 5 of the guys, they all score in the power play. It's not like it all comes from one guy. Actually, I think Cale might have the fewest amount of goals on the power play of all those guys. So what he does is he settles it down. He uses his skating, uses his hockey sense, his hands. He keeps pucks alive for us. We actually moved him from the top to the flank about a month ago. He hadn't scored a power play goal all year, and I started scratching my head. I said, well, that shouldn't be. So we moved him over to the flank, and he started to score over there. But he can skate the puck up the ice in the breakout, get you set up. But again, I think he's just one of the 5 guys. I mean, Mitch Chafee's outstanding. He scores big goals. Jake Pritchard makes plays. Johnny Leonard and Mark Delgaizo probably had 10 power play goals this year. So it's been a complete unit effort.
Oh, just quick follow. Conversely, your PK has been equally effective. Just talk about going up against Harvard in their potent power play.
Yep, it'll most likely be a big factor in the game. Which team is better on the special teams? And ideally, we'll stay out of the penalty box so we don't have to deal with it. A lot of respect for their power play. Obviously we spent a lot of time trying to break it down. Much like ours, they've got multiple threats that you have to be concerned with. But our PK has been good this year. We're pretty aggressive on the kill, and it's worked out well for us. And again, hopefully we won't have to kill too many tomorrow night.
Next question right here.
Josh Waffle, Daily Hampshire Gazette. Craig, I guess the same question I asked Nico. I know you were disappointed last week with how little you guys were able to affect the game with the forecheck. On these smaller rinks, how important is it for you guys to kind of establish that physicality and kind of establish that forecheck?
It's really important. What we learned, I guess, after the game was in our rink with the big ice, you can throw the puck in the corner and it'll stay in the corner and you can be physical. But in this rink and in Boston, the puck seemed to funnel to the goaltender, and so when the goaltender's playing the puck, it affects your forecheck. So, we made a little bit of adjustment on what we want to try to do, getting the puck into the zone and where we want the puck to be, so that we can be physical. Because I think that's one of our best assets is tenacity on our forecheck. We got a bunch of guys, big body guys who can be physical, and that's a big factor in games when you can be physically intimidating, physically effective. And last week we came out against Boston College in a game where you could tell the kids were on their heels. They weren't comfortable. It took some time to get into the game, and that can't be the case tomorrow. We have to be good right from the drop of the puck. And again, that's hopefully the lesson learned. And we are an inexperienced team that we haven't played at this level. But I'd rather take this team and being inexperienced than an average team that has a lot of experience. This is a good group of kids that have adjusted and learned lessons all year long, and I expect that we'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Chris Lynch of Inside Hockey. Coach, you've not gotten to play against Harvard since you got to UMass, but you had plenty of battles against them in your time at St. Lawrence. How much of that experience do you think gears up for coaching against a Teddy Donato team tomorrow?
Yeah, a lot of familiarity with Harvard and Clarkson. Thinking back, the last game I coached in the ECAC was against Harvard, and Jimmy Vesey scored an overtime goal off somebody's face mask. And I just remember Jimmy Vesey was very effective. I'm glad he's not playing for him tomorrow. But Adam Fox is a similar type of player. We can't let Adam Fox be the factor in the game. That'll be hard to do, but it's just the truth of the matter. I'm sure they don't want Cale Makar to be a big factor in the game. No, they're always a skilled team. They always have very good players. They play with speed and skill up and down the ice with pace. So that's what we're expecting. We have a lot of respect for them. The ECAC had a great year. I believe they got 4 teams in the tournament, so very strong league this year. And believe me, we know we're playing a good team tomorrow.
Alex Hall, New Hampshire Union leader. Coach, has it been easier or harder preparing for a team that has a lot of similarities to your team?
It doesn't really matter. What I did through a portion of the year, I'd walk in on Monday and I'd say, all right, who are we playing this weekend? And kids would be like, oh, we're playing UNH. And I'm like, no, we're not. And they'd look at each other and like, we're not playing UNH? And I was like, the answer is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we're playing. And so now I'll go in and ask them who we're playing. They say it doesn't matter. And we don't change our game plan really too much from team to team. We know how we have to play. And when we play to our best standard, we're a really good hockey team. And we didn't do that. We didn't do that last weekend. So, again, these kids, they know what they need to do. They know if they play to a certain standard, it doesn't matter who we're playing, that we'll find success. But that's a fine line. You know, there's not much difference from any Division I team. So if you're not at your best, and I don't think any team in this tournament is going to win a game if they're not at their best or real close to it.
Next question.
Cap Carey, Watertown Times. Hey, Greg. I was just going to ask you, what's it been like having Pritchard back on your team this year? Have you ever had that kind of experience in the past where maybe in the pros where you had a player leave and come back a couple years later and play on your team again?
Yeah, it's been, you know, when Jacob called me to ask if I'd be interested in having him, thoughts of possibilities went through my head, and this year has gone exactly as, you know, those hopes of what could be possible. And I think he's got 45 or 45 plus points. He's made our power play go. Beyond that, he's an unbelievable kid. And from day one, we've got a young team. Like I wanted him to serve as a leader. He doesn't wear a letter, but from day one, our whole team is just taken to him because he's such a high quality kid. And I just enjoy being around him. I enjoy coaching him. He's his skill level offensively is really high, and you know, we needed that, but as much as anything, we needed an older guy to help. We 19 freshmen and sophomores on this team, and you know, even two of our captains are sophomores, and we needed what he brought in a lot of ways. Quality of character. He's helped grow our culture. He's made our power play go. He leads our forwards in points. You know, he's been quite a blessing. And you're starting to see all these graduate transfers now, but most of them come in and just are kind of depth guys. I think he's the only one I can think of that's come in and led the team in scoring.
Next question, right here.
You mentioned the fact that when you know, at Mullins, you guys are able to dump it into the corners and kind of stays. Are there other sort of little adjustments you have to make to your game plan playing in a smaller rink compared to Mullins?
I think it's just you don't have this time and the space with the puck, and we're pretty good with time and space, but we also want to be a very good defensive team, and I think I like playing in a smaller rink because you can be more aggressive and you can be more physical. It took our guys some time to realize that you can't try to make as many plays on the smaller ice, and to me the real test was when we went to Providence at the end of the year, a place that when we played them early in the year, we were kind of shell-shocked, but by the end of the game at the end of the year, I thought we played a great game. So to me, it showed the growth of the team over the year of playing on the smaller sheet. And there's probably a time that it was a concern, but it's not now. You know, I think it's real tough to come into our rink if you're not used to playing on the big ice. But you know, we play half our games on this size sheet, so not a big factor for us.
Any further questions for Coach?
Josh, you just hold on to that mic there for a while.
I mean, I asked Mario about this before, but you guys as a staff have a lot of experience in these sort of games. What's sort of your message to these players to kind of get them acclimated to this sort of stage?
It's one of those things you have to go through to get the experience. As I said, I've coached in the NHL for a while, so when I got on that bench in Boston the other night, I didn't think about the players. first 10 minutes, I was like, what's going on here? Why aren't we playing our game? It didn't strike a chord with me till we got through the first period. I don't know. The message this week is, you guys have had an unbelievable year. You know what makes you good. Just go out, have fun, and play hard. You know what you can do. We've tried to limit distractions because we thought last week there were so many distractions. Even playing, we drove in this morning. We want to spend as little time here and at the same time as much time here as possible. But we're young. We got to go through these, and it was just like last year. We had to get to the quarterfinals and losing the quarterfinals to realize the next year when we played the quarterfinals what we needed to do, and it's part of a growth of and maturity of a program to play these games. You can't, life experience is huge, but if you don't have it, what are you going to do? You just give it your best.
You talked before the season, your kind of 3 keys were good power play, good PK, getting a good goaltending. Now that you guys are at this spot, how do you sort of assess how you guys have done in those 3 areas?
Pretty good. If it weren't for one game in Maine in the middle of January where we let in 3 power play goals, our penalty kill would probably still be, I don't know where we are, top 5, top 10, whatever. Power play has been consistent. We've been fortunate to have two pretty good goalies that we can play off of each other and play the one who's playing better. And so tomorrow night, if we have the better power play and the better penalty kill and the better goaltending, we'll probably win. If we don't, we'll probably lose. But those were the factors that, compared to last year's team, they were glaringly obvious that we needed to improve in those areas. It didn't take a genius to realize that. And so it's like anything in life, you put your time and focus and energy into something, you're probably going to get better at it, and that's what we did as a staff.
Any further questions for Coach? All right. Thank you for your time, Coach.